Let me ask you something here. How many of you hate change? Most of us do, especially the athletes who love routine. Same locker, same number, same warm up every single year, same teammates, same role. We love knowing what to expect because it makes us feel really in control. The problem with that, though, is growth requires a lot of change. And if nothing in your life is really changing, challenging you, stretching, or making you feel uncomfortable, then you're probably not growing. Think about an athlete who is the best player on their team. They score the most, start every game, rarely get challenged. That can feel really good. Like, who doesn't love being the best? But is it actually helping that athlete grow? So now you take the same athlete and put them on a more competitive team where suddenly they're not the best anymore. Very similar to when high school athletes transition into college. Now they have to fight for playing time. They're pushed in practice every single day, and it's uncomfortable, but that's exactly where the growth happens. So the purpose of this episode is to give you all 5 different ways to help you navigate the change that you may be going through currently. And when athletes resist the change, they usually become very frustrated, anxious, stuck. They worry a lot. But when they learn to navigate the change well, it actually becomes one of the biggest drivers of growth in their athletic careers. And that's what I'm helping athletes do on a day-to-day basis. So diving right into our applicable tips here when dealing with change is to, one, accept the fact that you can't control the change. And most of the time you can't control it. You can't control what coach decides, how old you're getting, if the team falls apart. And accepting doesn't mean you have to like the change. I'm not saying that. It simply means you stop wasting energy fighting something that has already happened. And once you accept it, you free up your energy to really focus on what you can control. Then we can start moving forward with it. So this carries us into our second tip of how to handle and embrace change better, which is to be adaptable. So if you get assigned a new position, is it going to do you or your team any good to not try your best and give it a shot? Sure, it's probably uncomfortable. You don't want to do it. You don't like it right away, but maybe coach sees a huge amount of potential in you there in that position that you can't see for yourself. And you're just going to be self-sabotaging if you aren't looking to adjust your own ways. And it's very easy to sit there, dwell, complain, and think about the fact that you don't want to do it. But what if you just decided to adjust instead? The best athletes aren't the ones who avoid change. The best athletes are the ones who adjust faster than everyone else. You looked at what you can change in your life and actions in order to grow with the changing situation around you. I had a very good example of this in college. I was an outside hitter. Junior year, my coach wanted to switch me to being a right side hitter. I did not want to do it. And I remember being on the phone with my dad complaining, and he's like, you have 2 ways to respond to this. You can sit there and dwell and complain and show your teammates that, or you can adjust like you always do and adapt and learn the new position, and be the best right side hitter that you can be for your team. And so I decided to do that, and it ended up working out great. I ended up getting moved back to outside, but the fact that it was acknowledged by coaches as to how well I had adapted and how much I just embraced the position without complaining, it made it worth it, and showed me, okay, this is exactly the kind of coach that I want to be. And that gave me a great example so I can relate to my athletes who are going through something similar. So tip 1, we have accept the fact that change is there. You can't control it. 2, be adaptable to whatever change is given. Tip number 3 for embracing change. I'm not telling you all to be positive about it, especially at first, that's hard. But I do encourage you to look at all the previous times in your life when change happened and it ended up turning out for the better. Maybe you graduated and moved up. Think about how positively that impacted you and made you grow into a better person, and all the new things you can do now with the skills you've gained because you have moved up into a different grade. Or maybe when you didn't make the ones team, but you got to play all the time on the twos team and ended up developing into a stronger player because of all that playing time, which helped you then make the ones team the next year. Or maybe when an injury happened, that is a huge change for a lot of athletes. Your entire routine and day to day changed. but how that ended up building a resilience in you that no other situation could have built is exactly what you got out of that change. And it ended up being a positive one. So when you look back at your life, many of the moments that helped you grow most likely started out as uncomfortable. Take a moment, reflect back. What are all the previous times in my life where change was here, but ended up impacting me more positively than I realized? Tip number 4, let's talk about the nerves that come with change. I call them anticipation nerves. A lot of people can get nervous about change that may be coming up. I challenge you to really think about this though. A lot of athletes will feel nervous if they're pushed onto a new team, maybe a new coach comes in, assigned a new role. But what if those nerves aren't necessarily fear? What if they're just in anticipation of something because your body's preparing for something new, something uncertain, something challenging? And once that change actually happens and you settle into a routine, those nerves almost always fade away. You are in that hard transition phase where you're learning and growing, and that's okay. But that step is very necessary in order for you to grow. Sometimes you're in like this anticipatory state where you know it's coming and you just want to already be into a routine and get used to it already. So really just embrace that nervous stage that's there. Think of it as, okay, my body's just getting me ready. I'm anticipating it. I want it to start happening, and trust that as soon as you get into a routine, you're going to get better because of it. So those nerves aren't necessarily a bad thing. Try to reinterpret those nerves as more of an anticipation reaction that your body is having. And tip number 5, find gratitude for the new opportunity. This one seems simple, but it can really make a big difference. Let's give a little life example here. Maybe you got a new job and have to pick up and move. There's a lot of change that can come with moving. Instead of hating the fact that you have to move, what if you found some gratitude for the new opportunity to impact so many others in a new position? And maybe this move will bring so many new amazing things into your life that you can't really see yet. There's an excitement behind that. And it's more motivating and encouraging trying to look at it through that lens, more of a what am I gaining from this move versus what am I missing out on, what am I losing? So gratitude, it doesn't erase the difficulty of change, but it helps you see the opportunity that's inside of it. So to summarize, yes, change is hard, it's uncomfortable, but many of the best things in your athletic career will come through change. New teams, new roles, new challenges. And if you learn to navigate change well, you won't just survive it, you will grow because of it. Thank you all for tuning in. For more one-on-one sports psych coaching, please feel free to email me, Georgia@rootedsportspsychcoach.com. And we will see you next week.